Marco's just
All
jealous.
right, can we go?
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to this the greatest podcast of the world. It's called IFTV.
The greatest
We are
podcast
in
world.
every platform that you can possibly imagine.
right.
Bravo.
Spotify, YouTube,
Bravo.
Google Plus, Google Minus,
MySpace.
Facebook, whatever, you name it. Okay,
Camdas.
we are on. Just put IFTV, and then you're gonna pop. You're gonna see our beautiful faces popping up, except for a few people over here.
Why'd you look at me when you
This
said
is
that?
again the pre-campionato. We are here to do all the prediction, and let me start to introduce my guest over here. Actually,
Can we do a salute?
yeah,
I left my
Oh, you guys
Fine.
finished it already.
I left my cup.
All right, what is your
That means,
last
that
night?
means you're missing out on Champions League.
All right,
You got
so
no more
listen,
wine
guys,
anymore. You guys three no
I still have
Champions
some
League.
wine.
What are you gonna say it be?
Anyway, from the left over here, we have Peter Curto. Is one of the ugliest Inter fan. And unfortunately, I have to face him all the time, but I like him at the same time. That's what gets me going. On next to him is Gaetano. They call him the maestro. I don't know for what reasons, but
25 years old.
25 years old. Yeah. Oh, by the way, happy birthday,
Happy
guys!
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And then again on his left we have Marco. Is his son. He's the one they call him the brain of the podcast for some reasons.
You
I
guys
don't
are
know why.
related?
I never heard anyone
then,
call him the brain.
Mike is like Fredo
Fredo?
on the Godfather. On the Godfather,
never
you
seen
know,
Godfather.
you take the Fredo, the brother, to fish, and then all of a sudden
What
he's
does that
sleeping
mean?
with
I
the
never
fishes.
seen a
But
Godfather.
anyway, you watch the Godfather, you'll know what I'm
You're
talking
saying
about it.
I'm gonna get killed?
And then in premise over here is Antonio, your
You betrayed the family.
your
Mike.
favorite fan.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah, Mike.
Oh, boy. You left me for dead, Anto. What the
Mike,
hell?
You're
let me
sleeping
finish
with
up
the
the
fishes.
introduction.
What was your? How did you introduce yourself?
This is Antonio, the greatest one of the podcast, and
The goat.
the goat, yes, the goat. Okay.
Go.
So anyway, so welcome back. We are here to have a lot of fun. This year I'm going to be spending a lot more time watching the game with you guys because I'm not playing for any particular leagues.
You
I'm
retired.
It's not that I retired. I decided that I like to spend more quality time with the podcast and with our fans because
They kicked you off the team.
That's the truth.
well,
Well,
can I take next question? That's
Plead
another
the
question
fifth.
that I want to answer.
Plead the fifth.
So Pete, welcome
Yes.
back. What can
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you say something?
Oh, I think we should have Marco and Mike say
Okay,
something
Marco,
first.
go ahead.
No, guys, welcome back. It's been too long. It's been a wild summer for us. Un'estate italiana because we had a great time with the Euros. Now the season is starting. Football is back. Calcio is back. And I'm so excited for what's to come this year. It's probably going to be one of the most exciting league competitions, I think, in maybe the past decade. You know, we've all known, we've got a lot to talk about with the transfer market, with the things that are happening. The coaching staff that we have that's coming into Italy, I think, really brings a lot of excitement. And I asked all of you guys to come with your predictions from number 1 to 20. Antonio's the only one who didn't come prepared, and he did it
But he did
2
it-
seconds ago.
I don't need to.
And it was very hard to predict. I mean, there's so many things that can go either way. I think we'll get into it. Number 1, our predictions. We'll give a little preview for each of the teams and feelings to come. Why don't we start with the league leaders, the reigning champions, Inter, who, Peter, welcome to this. Coming in as reigning champion, it's been a long time since you've been able to be announced like that. How are you feeling going into the season with, obviously last year you started with Conte, the man that left now, Hakimi, who also moved on, and then just a few days ago, Romelu Lukaku, who signed for Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a summer of question marks. I think
It's a
you know.
funeral.
No, I don't think it's a funeral.
it's gone.
No.
I think we have, obviously losing Conte for me, I think is the biggest loss, even compared to Lukaku, Hakimi. Conte is someone that's able to maximize potential, and you lose him, you can lose points. Simone Inzaghi, I think he's done a fantastic job with Lazio. This is going to be a test for him because he's coming off of an Inter team that has won the Scudetto, but has lost 2 of their best players. So he has a lot of work to do. And watching the preseason, I think they looked pretty good. The biggest thing is that Inter's defense has remained untouched. I think we point out Lukaku and Hakimi the losses of those two players. We sold them for massive amounts. Let's not forget Milan lost two of their best players for free.
Speak about Inter. Don't worry about
Okay.
Milan for now. Okay.
But one I was getting to was we also lost Christian Eriksen, who was coming around and was a fundamental part of Conte's last, let's say, 6 months to the Scudetto race. We were able to pick up Chanaloglu on a free. We were able to pick up a Dumfries for a very good price, who had a good Euros with Holland. And we were able to pick up Dzeko on a free. So I'm not saying Dzeko replaces Lukaku in its whole. We're still going to be looking for another striker. There's been reports of Correa, Zapata. So I have full faith in Marotta. I know that there's probably more financial problems with this Inter team, as there are reports. But I think, there's still 14 days left. So I do not say with a definite answer, this is the team and we're not going to be touched again. I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't know. There's been reports even with Lautaro leaving. Today the agent claimed that Lautaro's happy and they're looking to renew a contract.
That's what happened before the storm, before the fight before the storm.
So we'll see with that. But I think Inter are gonna surprise some people. I don't think that they're gonna crash out.
Okay.
I think they can still give
That's fair.
anybody a chase for their money, a run for their money. Are they the Scudetto favorites? I say no. I don't want to give anything away, but I would think with the losses of Lukaku and Hakimi, you're not the number one anymore. And the loss of Conte, more importantly.
I think what we should do is, I think we should start from 20 and work our way up.
That could be
And
fun.
when we have teams that we want to
something
talk
to say.
about, then we talk about. There's
Okay.
obviously going to be teams in here that we don't really want to say,
Yeah.
that we don't have much to say. But I think that could be the building up upon. And obviously, the top 7, top 8 teams are where we're mostly going to, have
talked
talking
about,
points.
yeah.
And if anyone wants to interject and you have something specific to say about the team,
We can just
then you
jump in.
can.
Yep.
I'll start off with number 20, and then we'll go in a circle. Mike, then
Okay.
Mike, Antonio, Peter,
That's
Gaetano.
fair.
Number 20, I got Salernitana.
Number 20, I have Venezia.
I got
Antonio?
Venezia too.
Venezia.
Gaetano.
Salernitana.
Salernitana. Okay, let's. I have. Does anyone have Salernitana and Venezia? I have them in 19th and 20th actually, so we could probably bang them all.
Yeah, so do I.
Both for me. I'm sure most of us do. Right? No. Okay. If you don't.
I'm just looking at his papers like
Venezia. Why do you have Venezia in last place, Pete?
Well, to be fair, they didn't make the right acquisitions. I think they went young in a lot of places. The money that they've spent on players that aren't necessarily Serie A ready or are still question marks. And that's not something to do with a team that just got up from Serie B. One of the last team to come up to Serie B, so they weren't like they were the number one team. And we know that in Serie A, you need experience. Even going back to Sassuolo, if you remember Sassuolo, before what they've been able to do, they were seriously risking relegation that first year in Serie A until the January transfer market. They went out after Peluso, Cannavaro, Floro Flores. They tried to get every experienced player possible, and they were able to maintain their safety in Serie A. So I think Serie A is a different beast. You need to have a balance of experience and youth, and that's why I put Venezia in 20th place. And they spent $6 million on Buzio, who we don't even know if he's going to start. So that's a
Who's
question
Buzio?
mark.
Who is it?
So
He's
let me-
American.
I'll explain. They signed 2 Americans, which is they built a lot of hype around Venezia. Obviously, the beauty of Venice coming up from the bottom all the way to the top. A lot of people have followed their journey. They signed 2 Americans: Tanner Tessman from FC Dallas and Gianluca Busio, who his father is Italian, and I don't know. I think an Inter fan as well. And he's a young kid. He's an Italian American kid. So he's signing for the team. So that's why they built a lot of hype. They have great jerseys that everybody loves. But I agree with you. There's a lot of question marks around the team. I don't know Paolo Zanetti that well as a coach too. So I'm sorry to burst the bubble, but I got them there. Any reason Salernitana you have relegated? Anyone?
I did a number 18 though. I have Empoli before Salernitana.
Okay.
Empoli 19.
You have Empoli. What do you have in 18th?
18th, I also have Empoli.
I have Spezia in 18th.
I have Empoli.
I have Spezia 19, Empoli 18.
Okay. All right. So why? And to be honest, it's kind of hard for us to judge as well. I would like to see the first round ideally to see like how the
Yeah.
teams actually look.
It's gonna be tough.
But some of the teams on the bottom, I do think that they're going to interchange. You guys have Empoli. I have
Yeah.
Empoli one above relegation zone. So, the relegation zone, obviously we know how it gets. Cagliari looked like they were going to get relegated at one point last season. Then they went on a crazy run and they
For
were able to
sure.
get saved. So for me, not too much to talk about. Spezia, they lost Italiano, who went to Fiorentina. And I think he was really the brains behind a lot of that team. I think he helped save that team from being relegated. I don't think they made enough moves really on the market that were that exciting. They got Simi, right? That was the one
No,
guy.
Salernitana.
Salernitana got Simi.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was Salernitana got Simi. That's why I felt bad for them. But yeah, not too much in there. Those are the teams that got
Yeah, and
relegated.
Spezia
mean-
also has a transfer ban for the next windows coming up, so
Right.
they still have to appeal that. So this is a market
It's
where
tricky.
they have to start making some moves. They haven't made any big names. There's been talks that they've been looking more on analytics, but they did lose Agudelo, who was a surprise from
He was a
last
good
year.
player.
Yeah,
Kevin
he was a surprise
Agudelo,
from last
yes,
year, and he went back to Genoa. So you miss out on some players like that, it can hurt your chances. I have them at 17th. I think because maybe
Spezia?
because
Me too.
of the year,
You're
last
copying me,
year.
Pete.
I know.
Yeah,
I did it.
I don't know.
I did it before you, but so
I don't know. But what is your list, by the way?
on my phone.
Oh, on your
17 is you have them
Safe.
saved.
yeah.
I have them saved. I have them
them
saved, but I
I think
I
they're gonna
they
go.
could go relegation battle.
They
I
could
think
shuffle.
they're gonna go.
I mean, they have Enzo Latu. They have Verde on the wing. Also, they have
Erlik.
a fellow Greek, Nicolaou, in center back. So I'm
That's why I
excited
got
to see
them
that.
relegated.
They do have some. They do have some young prospects. I'm excited to see Thiago Motta over there. Even though I feel like he's not really proven as a coach,
That's the guy
I
that...
feel like he could do something though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the
So-
reasons why I put them down, to be honest.
I feel like he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong, even though he didn't have a good tenure at Genoa.
17th, I have Empoli. What do you have?
At 17th, I have Spezia.
Anto,
Oh, you got
17.
Spezia.
Spezia. You have
I had Spezia 17.
Venezia.
Venezia 17. Okay, so you have Venezia again safe. 16th place, I got Hellas Verona.
16th, I have Udine.
I got Cagliari.
Hellas Verona.
I got Cagliari.
So since two Cagliaris and two Hellas Verona, Hellas Verona, they lost their main man. They lost Juric,
Yeah.
who was the big guy. They're getting Eusebio Di Francesco, who obviously had a great spell at times at Roma, and then we all know how that ended. He was a coach that was very hyped up. He came in with a new philosophy. I don't think that it will be enough for Hellas Verona. Michael could probably speak to why Hellas Verona.
I mean, Hellas Verona, I follow them pretty closely. Juric too. I feel like he was such a undervalued tactician. A lot of people, I feel like, didn't give him a lot of credit more than he deserves. And Di Francesco, man, he didn't have his last job where he was at Cagliari. He did horrendously, and thankfully Semplici came in for Cagliari to save them. But Di Fra has a lot to prove, but I don't think they're gonna do as well as a lot of people think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Any reason you guys have Cagliari, or want to keep going?
No, keep
No.
going.
I don't think Cagliari is going to cut the master for me because Nainggolan is gone too, from what I understand. So
Yeah.
to me, that was one of the leaders of the team. It was somebody that held the midfield all
Struman's
together.
in, though.
and,
Struman came in.
No,
But-
Strootman is not what he used to be
Yeah, I
when
know, it's true.
Roma was fighting for the championship.
Neither
so,
was Nainggolan, though. He fell
yeah.
So
aside.
basically 17, 18, 19, 20, we all have
Yeah,
more
we're-
or less the same.
It's interchanged. It
Yeah.
will be difficult to be able to tell. 15th place, I have Genoa.
15th of Bologna.
I have Verona.
Bologna.
Bologna. What do you have?
I got Torino.
Torino. Okay.
I put Verona twice.
Any reason for your choices? Anybody got a good reason? Or
Uh,
we keep going.
for me, I'm just gonna say I don't think Mihailovic has really done that much as a coach to really improve the squad, and they haven't signed anyone significant.
Arnautovic.
Arnautovic, yeah, the striker. I don't know. I can't see them doing much, and
Big
they
loss.
just lost in the Coppa Italia to Ternana, which was extremely disappointing.
5-4.
So yeah.
What a Monday
And they
night.
were losing
Arnautovic
5-1.
scored, by the way. Yeah, they were losing 5-1. Yeah, I agree. I don't have them that high.
Yeah, I would also say just Mihailovic has been there for a while now, so maybe he doesn't have full
It's a little
control of the
lackluster,
locker
I feel
room.
like.
I think also the teams ahead of them have more quality in their teams, and they haven't really done much. I know Arnautovic is a big signing, but he hasn't. He was playing in China the past 2 years, so I want to see if he's able to score 10 goals in Serie A.
Italian
He
food is
should
gonna
be
help.
able to as a number 9, but it's always a question mark in my eye, and I just think the quality of the team will be right there, and they'll be saved, but just nothing impressive for me.
14th place, I have Udinese.
Me too.
Bravo.
14th, I have Fiorentina.
Wow.
Jesus,
Peter?
Mike, be
Cagliari.
nice.
You have
I got Genoa.
You got Genoa.
By the way, who's the coach of Torino? Is it Juric?
Juric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's-
maybe I should have put Torino.
Yeah,
Too late
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Too late. Too late. Paisa, too late.
Udinese lost Depol.
Yeah.
That was my boy.
One
And
of the
Musso.
The guy that I loved so much,
Yeah.
Musso as well. He went to Atalanta for 20 million. I don't think
Two
that
best
Udinese has
players.
lacked ambitions for a little while. I'm not a huge fan of their coach Gotti. They don't inspire me.
They have
don't.
the most beautiful stadium to me. One of the most
It's
beautiful
fine, but the stadium doesn't go on the pitch to win the game at
I
the end
hear
of the
you.
day. And it's unfortunate because Udinese, like you said, I do love that they have a stadium because I thought that could have been something that they could build upon. They're one of the only teams along with Juventus to have that, but they haven't inspired me.
You have family there too, don't you?
Yeah.
Then hopefully they don't see this podcast,
Yeah,
right?
That's too bad. Listen, there's no emotions attached
What
to
happened?
it. 13th place, I have Bologna, which we already said.
13, I have Cagliari.
I have Genova.
Genoa,
Sampdoria.
Sampdoria,
Udinese.
Udinese. We didn't speak about Genoa. We've already had Genoa below it. Any specific reason?
Genova has been a team that has never. They're not really fighting. They're not really. They have no ambition. They want to just be there for the fan, and they want to be middle of the, middle of the group, and they have no ambition.
The club
of,
is also a mess,
Yeah.
selling and buying and
Preziosi.
going.
so
Yes,
they
it's,
want to keep the local fan
I
excited
mean,
a little
I
bit.
don't know if
make
you guys
sure.
pay attention, but every day in all the
saw.
major newspaper,
Saw.
Prezioso,
His face-
Vattene.
Who's been?
I mean, in
Who's paying for
Gazzetta,
that?
Corriere, I
Yeah.
guess the
Which
fans.
means, guys, that means for the president to leave.
Yeah,
Genoa
because the guy
says,
doesn't want to spend the money. He's not
Preziosi,
bringing
leave.
big
Yeah,
names,
yeah.
none of that
I mean, it's
stuff.
all in the
But
major newspapers.
Ballardini for me is a very good coach. And
Yeah, it is.
and
for
I
middle of the range.
For me,
Yeah.
for keeping Genoa up.
Got
Freire.
great
I checked him.
glasses.
I actually had him. I had him higher. I didn't have him at that place, but
What is
that's why
Genova for
me-
you? What do you?
Well, for me, I would say ninth.
No,
Place?
what did you
Hold
call
on,
Genova?
no,
no,
you
no,
let
not
it-
yet.
you let it
Yeah,
too high.
yeah,
Yeah,
14.
One second.
We're on 13.
I have
We're on
it.
13.
Let's see, Genova. 13.
By the
What
way,
is
one thing I found very interesting while going through, 12 out of the 20 teams in Serie A have changed coaches. That's including the 3 teams that have come up.
Yeah.
So only 8 teams have maintained their coaching, which is a huge. I don't know if that's some sort of record in Serie A. I feel like it is,
Could be.
but I'm
like
not
a
sure.
musical chair, believe it or
know.
not. This is
12th place, I have Torino because of Juric.
crap.
12, I have Verona.
I have Sampdoria.
I have Sassuolo.
Sassuolo.
I
wow.
think they fall this year.
What do you?
I got some
You got
Sampdoria.
Sam-
Like
you
me.
got- so Sampdoria has been mentioned a lot.
Like me.
Any reason for Sampdoria? We obviously know they lost Ranieri. They got D'Aversa.
What about Dumfries? Dumfries was not playing on Sampdoria, was it? Dumfries?
No, that's
That was another
PSV.
Dutch player.
Damsgaard.
Damsgaard.
Damsgaard
Yes,
is
he's
what
on
you're thinking of.
Sampdoria.
I
He
like
stayed
that
at
kid.
The one that scored
Yeah.
against Russia.
I like
the free
that guy.
kick,
Oh.
and
I
the one
like that guy.
Not the free kick.
Versus
The one,
England.
he scored the free kick for
England
Right.
versus England.
Any
Yeah.
reason for Sampdoria or no?
It's a small market.
Sampdoria is also another team that is a mess with the president leaving,
Yeah.
going, selling, not selling. But they got some quality players. Quagliarella is still there. Probably score a few goals.
Scored a
So,
fantastic goal
yeah.
today in the
Yeah,
Coppa Italia.
Gabbiadini.
Beautiful.
still.
Yeah.
so I'll
One
I'll
of the
put
most
him,
beautiful stadium too.
I'll put him in 12.
That's true.
Mhm.
What were we gonna add, Pete?
I had Sampdoria 13th, but
12.
Sampdoria.
Sorry, I put him on
Okay,
12.
it's fine. It's fine. No, but you have a leader of Quagliarella. The guy seems to be like Italian wine, gets better with age, and he's, like you say, he scored a great goal. And they haven't made any acquisition really, and they haven't
Didn't
sold
sold,
anybody, so they kind of maintained
They
what
lost
they
their
had.
coach though. Ranieri was good. I think he
Yeah,
was good for
Ranieri
them.
also,
Tinkerman.
but I think
Exactly.
who they get?
D'Aversa.
D'Aversa. I like D'Aversa. They also have a great sporting director, Faggiano, who still hasn't been able to do it. 2 years ago, he had Parma pushing for Europa League with D'Aversa, so it's a good duo. So it'll be interesting to see what Sampdoria can do. I just think the quality overall keeps them at the lower, lower than 10th place.
In 11th, I have Cagliari.
11th, I have Genoa.
I have Torino.
I have a shot. I have Udinese. I'm still not 100%,
I have
but
Torino.
Who do you have?
Bologna.
Okay. So we've all pretty much, the bottom half of the table, we've pretty
It's
much
pretty
explained,
similar, yeah.
and we've pretty much had in slightly different orders. Again, between like 9 and 16, it could really
Yeah,
go
it switches,
any
exactly.
position, I think could change. 10th place, I personally have Sampdoria.
10th, I have Sassuolo.
I have Bologna.
I have Torino.
Verona.
Let's talk
I
about
mean-
Sassuolo because we
Yeah.
haven't mentioned Sassuolo, and now I think everybody's had them below besides me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Sassuolo has been a fantastic team last season. They've been proving a lot of people wrong. Weren't scared. I think we all kind of admire them just because they didn't like roll over for any team.
Mini Atalanta.
Yeah, similar, and they played very similar to them. But the thing that kept them, gave them that mentality, was the coach that left at Zerbi that went to Shakhtar. I feel like he was really. I feel like he was really underappreciated because none of the top Serie A teams really trusted to get him. So he was just like, okay, I'll show you guys. I'll go to a Champions League
good
team.
luck with that.
Why not? De Zerbi's a fantastic coach, and he's
I
done
don't know.
great with that team. Locatelli is most likely going to be gone, which was probably one of their best players. And for the most part, the rest of the players are going to stay, which is good. They lost two key parts of that team, but they still have a great squad overall. So I
What
think they
about
can still do
acquisition?
damage.
They didn't make any major acquisition.
No one
Not
to
that I really
no one
know.
to star.
But, you know,
Sassuolo,
the guy-
Sassuolo
no,
I
no,
personally
no, no.
have in 9th place. I don't know what to expect from Dionisi.
I have it
You
on
know,
8.
He was
I have it on 8.
He was in Serie B, and with Empoli, I believe, right?
Yep.
Dionisi.
Yeah, Empoli and Venezia.
So I don't know him too well. I mean, Sassuolo is a good run team. It's a well-run team. So I have faith that they probably would get a coach that's similar. But I agree with Michael. I won't repeat the same thing. I think De Zerbi was a great coach. I just said my 9th place. Michael, who was your 9th place?
My 9th place is Torino.
Okay, we mentioned
Yeah.
that.
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina,
Genoa.
Genoa.
So for the top 9 is very difficult, of course, right now to because what? Because Insigne we don't know where he's going. Locatelli we don't know where he's going. Vlahovic we don't know where he's going. Lautaro we don't know where he's going, and Ronaldo we don't know where he's going. So it's very difficult the top 9 to decide. I have no the top 9 teams.
Really?
No, the top 9 teams.
You think that's hard?
Yeah, it's hard because
Yeah.
of all these players that might be changing teams.
Okay.
I mean, if Vlahovic leaves, it's not the same if he stays. Anyway, I got Fiorentina at 9th place.
Me too, man.
Wow.
You copy me,
Okay.
man. You copy 3 or 4
Well,
of my stuff
I have,
so far.
I have Fiorentina in 8th, so we could talk about Fiorentina. Did you have them in 8th?
And, Fiorentina.
Oh, you had them way
No,
lower.
I had them lower. Yeah.
Peter, what'd you have them in?
I had them Fiorentina had 8th.
So let's talk about Fiorentina right now. The latest reports from Sky Sport Italia, we're just listening right now. They said that the renewal has stalled with Vlahovic. Obviously, a lot of things can change. There's still 2 weeks for this transfer market, and it's a domino effect. Harry Kane, if he goes to Manchester City for 150 million, Tottenham need a striker. They're talking about Vlahovic to potentially go to Tottenham. I think that Fiorentina, they lost Ribéry. They're most likely losing Milenkovic. They could lose Vlahovic as well.
Ribery already left.
I
we
said
know.
I mentioned
okay.
Ribéry. Those are 3 big players that are leaving. The one thing that I will say that's going in Fiorentina's favor, they got Italiano, who for me is a fantastic coach. I think that he was a little bit underrated with what he did with Spezia. I think that he can bring stability, and it's one of the reasons I have Fiorentina higher in the table, and I think they could do well. But he can only do so much if the players around him can't. And I think Castrovilli needs to step up big time this season. One other thing we should mention, the whole drama with Gattuso in the beginning of the year, where Gattuso was supposed to be the leader of this team. After I think it was 22 days, Gattuso left after disagreements in the transfer market. So anyone else on Fiorentina?
Fiorentina is somehow we somehow connected with this team because we know the ownership, we know Joe, with the kids and all the stuff. It's like the family for us, and Vlahovic should be their main priority to keep to try to solidify their ambition at least to make it to the UEFA. So that's why, because of all of those rumors, I put them at 9. But if Vlahovic, I will know it will be a mainstay for Fiorentina. I will just probably give him a 7 or 8.
If
at least
Vlahovic
2
leaves, do you
points.
have them lower?
No,
I was going by Vlahovic staying at this
mean-
point, to be honest.
I mean, listen, Vlahovic is.
And Milenkovic,
He
like
had
you said.
over 20 goals. last
Lirola.
season.
21, yeah.
21,
Yeah. So
Yeah, if Vlahovic goes
yeah, that's a big
and
loss.
Milenkovic goes, which is probably going to go, yeah, I have a 9th, but that will go lower.
Yeah,
Yeah, I put
I
a
mean,
9.
it's-
Your father and I don't know what.
No,
what
this is
father.
not- this
I'm
is
gonna
not
compare
done.
the stuff with you. Maybe you read my
Listen,
notes
this
before.
is from 9 to 20. Now you got to see what you do from 1 to 8. That's the important one.
But the problem with this market is that you have 14 days now to
Scramble and get someone.
lose a player
Yeah.
and find a player, and that's the hardest part.
They're going to go until midnight of the last day.
I'm sure.
Like
That's
usual.
all
Huh?
they say,
And
so,
speaking of that, Lazio's president said that Lotito.
yeah.
Okay, speaking about Lazio, I have Lazio in 7th place.
I also have them
no,
in
we
seventh
have
place.
we are 8.
Oh,
I
did
did
it?
eight. Oh, sorry. I
No,
added
no.
Fiorentina. Who do you have in 8?
8. I got Sassuolo.
Me too. Again.
Okay. We
Me too.
mentioned Sassuolo already.
8, I got Sampdoria.
Jesus Christ,
Okay.
this guy's
As a
really
Fiorentina.
copying me.
Okay,
Listen,
so same
you
teams.
did it here.
Yeah.
You did it here. I brought this from
Oh,
home.
what are you show me the
so
stuff?
you probably
Maybe you
saw
saw
it up here on my desk.
I don't have to study 3
And
hours
you-
like
and
you
you
did.
co-
I
you
just
copy
made-
some
I
of
don't
them.
know. I watch the teams and I know what I'm
Anyway,
going to
I
watch
got
them.
Sassuolo. What do you got on number 8?
I said Fiorentina.
Fiorentina. That's how we started the conversation.
Yeah.
I have Fiorentina in 8. One other thing, by the way, would you sell Vlahovic for, let's say, the proposed 60 million, whether it's to Tottenham or whether it's to Atletico Madrid?
I would.
You would. 60
Definitely.
million
Oh,
is your
absolutely.
selling
It's a
point.
lot of money.
I think 70 million would be my selling
Nah,
point, only
okay.
because it was only one season he did it, and who knows what's going to
Even
happen next
50 I would
season.
sell.
Peter?
For 50. I'll sell him 50.
50 million, they already rejected.
Oof.
60
I would sell
million, Peter?
No, you don't sell.
You have to have someone
That's what I'm
that
saying.
you can believe in if you're gonna sell him.
Yeah.
There has to be a plan. It depends on the ambition of the club. If you're gonna say to the fans, "Oh, we're gonna be pushing for Europa League," you keep
Yeah.
Vlahovic. Rocco has said that he doesn't need to make any money. Then you keep to that. The only thing is, unfortunately, we see it all the time. The player, what the player wants usually is what happens. It's not how it
Money
used to be
talks.
back then.
Money
And
talks.
there's-
It's hard
if
to
he
fault the
agrees
guy
to
Atletico Madrid,
yeah, if
who's
he
the
agrees
champions
to
of Spain, and
And just for reports, they're saying if Vlahovic just goes, there's reports that Skamaka could be the person to replace
See, but
him.
that's not the right replacement for me. I think
I agree with you,
he's
Peter.
a good player, and he will be
No,
a good
Scamacca is
player.
not for Fiorentina.
But he's not 21. He hasn't shown that he can score 21 goals a season.
I say you do not sell him. I don't care if you get 60 million. I don't care if you get 65 million.
70?
You- 70 million. You don't sell Vlahovic. You need to have some point where you stand your ground and you say, we are trying to build a team. I understand the money aspect. I understand it.
Then
but I
pay
think-
more. You have to
but
pay more.
I think, listen, you're also trying to buy a player 2 weeks before the season starts. I got to go out there and get a guy. So you got to see what guy are
Right.
you going to replace him with. It's not the right way to do it, in my opinion. And I hope that Vlahovic stays. He's a great young player. He's one of the bright
How many
spots
years
of
is
the
he
year.
signed for? He signed until 2023, I
Not sure.
believe.
7th place, I have Lazio.
7th place, I have Lazio also. Yeah.
I have Napoli.
Lazio.
What do you have in 7?
Now, the next 7 teams are going to be very.
He put disclaimers. Gaetano put disclaimers and everything he says.
It's going to be very,
Very
difficult
hard.
Seventh.
Very hard.
because they go change
Watch it.
Yeah.
after the we see what's going on with Insigne.
Yeah.
I got Napoli as
Me
well.
too. You see?
Yo, you guys are connected.
You see?
You act like you don't agree on anything.
You see?
Wow. I
He's
have,
copying me, this guy
okay,
here.
so Lazio, they lost Simone Inzaghi, their coach. They got Felipe Anderson in, and they brought Maurizio Sarri in. They could still lose Correa, according to a lot of the reports. They haven't really done a lot to solidify their defense. Their midfield is obviously best in the world.
Koulibaly might go too.
We're talking about
That's
Lazio.
what- Oh, I'm sorry, Lazio.
I think that Sarri is a fantastic coach for them. I think that Sarri fits the role at Lazio to a T. It's a team where you're not going to be expected to win right away. He has a little bit time to build in. I think the fans will appreciate the style of football that he's trying to build. And I think it's the right environment for him. But I also think that Lazio is hit by 2 things. Sarri's going to take at least 7 months
Oh, come on. Don't
for
give me
the
that.
team to start playing good. And the other thing that's going against Lazio, which is not a fault of their own, it's a fault that the other teams above them, in my opinion, are just better. That's my.
You are
personal
underestimating
opinion.
Tare.
And also, they need that Immobile to do the season that he's been replicating.
You
To
are
score that many
underestimating Tare. Tare is a
You are-
strategist. He's one of the
who has he
best
brought in?
brain. Don't worry about who's
I
going to bring
mean, Marco,
in.
you do have a point with that in terms of Sarri taking some time. If this was the second season with Sarri, I think I would have put him challenging for Champions League.
We'll do that August
just I
15th,
think,
2022.
yeah, exactly. Just because this philosophy takes much longer, but their bench isn't the deepest. So if they do get an injury, there can be a lot of trouble, especially in the defense or midfield.
Why do you guys have? Actually, I don't even want to ask you yet. I don't want to ask you about Napoli.
Why not?
I
I have Napoli at 6. I have Napoli at Napoli at
No,
7th
seven.
place. 7th place.
6th place, I have Roma.
6, I also have Roma.
I have Inter.
Whoa!
Wow, you can laugh.
Wow!
Okay.
I didn't
I
expect
hope
that.
I'm not a.
Roma. Who
Roma,
do you have
okay.
in?
Atalanta.
Ooh.
I don't know where to begin.
Woo.
We start with Roma. We start with Roma because that's the most
Yeah.
common denominator right now.
Yeah.
Roma, they're getting the great Jose Mourinho inside their team. They've got Vina as a left back to replace Spinazzola. They're taking Shomurodov, who's the doppelganger of Mike over here, according to the comment section.
That's what I've heard.
They lost Dzeko. They're getting, in the famous, what Galliani used to say, a new player, which is Zaniolo, who's returning to injury for the first time, who has been lifting in the gym, and he looks absolutely jacked, and he's gonna bring a lot to the team. I think that Mourinho is perfect for this squad. I think that he fits Roma as well to a T. I love both of the Roman teams. I love their coaches. I think Mourinho's a winner who will help instill winning into a Roma team that's needed it for a long time. And I think that at the same time, he has to reinvent himself a little bit because Mourinho's been at great teams that could spend money and he's wanted great players. He kind of goes back to those Porto days, those roots of grinding things out, working with the young players, and he knows he can't just go out there and buy the best talent. I think it's going to help him. Other guy he got is Roy Patricio, by the way.
Let me
And
tell
the
you
big-
something.
I just want to say the biggest thing over here. I criticized Mourinho when he did sign for Roma. I think this is his biggest test, almost of his career, other than Porto in the early days, because he has to show the world that he's not past his due date and he's still a capable coach, that he can win something,
It's
that he
his
can
last shot.
compete. Pretty
It's
much.
Mourinho's last shot.
That's what it is at the end of the day. So if he, I'm not 100% sold on it. It is the first season, new
love it.
league in so many years.
Stop
So he has a
finding
lot of
excuse for
proof.
the guy.
No, I'm not
What's
finding
there an
excuse.
excuse?
I'm giving both sides.
Who did you
But
guys
he has
have
a lot of
in
proof for
sixth
sure.
place?
I have Inter.
I don't want to get to that yet.
Atalanta.
All right. You know
Kinda hard
what?
to get
First
to
of
that.
all,
why don't you speak about Napoli? then,
No.
since-
Why don't we do this first? Okay, let me just. You
think
guys
you
over
had it.
glorifying Mourinho. Okay, Mourinho. If Roma, I have Roma higher. I have Roma very high. I have Roma on third place. I'll tell you reasons why.
Whoa.
Not because
Why?
of Mourinho.
Not for Mourinho?
No, I have it because of Zaniolo. I have because of the acquisition that they've made, and Roma was this close to make the Champions League the last season. Few points away, 4 or
No,
5
they
points
weren't.
away.
No, they
were far.
weren't.
So-
They were far.
Listen.
They were far away.
They had a coach, the Gaetano was the only one that liked the coach.
And me.
You know,
They
hey,
picked up me.
to be honest with you, that coach could have done a little better because he never won an important game like against AC
That's
Milan, Roma, Inter, or whatever. So the guy was just a middle of the range coach. He had no capability to just bring the team to the highest level. So right now, let's see what this Mourinho. If Roma
Mourinho's
is gonna
good
win,
head to head, right?
it's Roma. If Roma is going to win, it's not going to be for Mourinho. Roma played without Zaniolo the whole season, and he played without some of the players. Dzeko had a problem. They stripped him from the captainship. Now Dzeko is gone, so there is no more excuse. They have plenty of good players. They spend a lot of money. They have the ownership very much motivated, and I like to see Roma playing for the first 3 or 4 place.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I think it might be better if we just keep going with the teams. And
Just
then
in
we'll
order?
We'll get to the rest because there's too much to unpack. In 5th place.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry about
why
this.
don't we just say something about Inter? I'll tell you the reasons why.
not
Put
yet,
Inter
not
number
yet.
6.
Inter not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
Inter not
5th
yet.
place. Go ahead.
Inter's not yet.
Okay.
5th place. I got AC Milan.
I got Milan also.
I love that.
What do you have?
I have first AC Milan.
Okay,
Oh.
but don't
Okay,
say
well,
it.
you gotta-
Oh, I'm
Anto,
sorry.
you gotta-
5th place. who do you have?
Fifth place, I have Lazio.
Okay.
I have Atalanta.
Inter.
Wow.
One higher than me, you see? Got close.
Wow. Wow.
Milan, I think that they did not add too much this year. They got Giroud, they got Magnon. They're probably bringing in Florenzi as well. They kept Theo Hernandez, which I was very happy for.
They lost Hakan.
They lost Hakan. Well, I don't mind that much.
I
too
mean,
much, to be
he
honest with
made
you.
a
I don't
difference.
care what you guys say about that.
He made a
they
We
lost,
gave
they
it to
did lose
you.
the best goalkeeper in the world with Gigio Donnarumma.
For free.
They got Giroud. I think that Milan's problem. I think last year they went past their best. You know, they overexceeded with Stefano Pioli in the first half of the season. I think that the balance between Champions League and the league is scary for a short team, and I still don't love seeing Rebic and Salamakers as the two starters
Yeah.
in the Milan team.
Yeah.
And that's what gives me the lack of hope for them.
You have a point for that one. I think they.
What do you have in
the
fifth
last?
Fifth.
I have them in 5th also.
Okay.
I just think they narrowly, even though they had a great first half of the season, they narrowly made the Champions League and made it second
Narrowly
place.
make. Are you
Yeah, the
kidding
last
me?
match day.
What's wrong with
It
you?
was the last match that they made it.
He's supposed to be the AC Milan fan.
I'm just being honest. Whatever.
Yeah,
With
Inter
Champions
Milan.
League, they're going to be juggling two competitions with Pioli. I don't think Pioli's the right coach for Milan, and I think we're going to see it this season. I think he's going to get sacked midway.
This is
through the
what we'll
season.
do. When if you have something different, only you will say your reason why they're in that place. Okay, nobody else will. Fifth place, who did you have?
I told you Lazio.
Why?
Lazio, because I think I still trust the forward line that Lazio has, even though they might be losing other people. But if Correa stays, Immobile stays. Immobile is not a great Italian national team player, but when he plays for the club, the guy is highly motivated because he's got a lot of time to carburate, and they give him all the time for him to do what he needs to do and what he is good at it. So I think Immobile, Correa, they have Luis Alberto, they have a great midfield. They have Milenkovic, Savic. And I like Tare. Tare to me is one of the best strategists that we have in Serie A. So I'm sure they're going to come up with something this year. Leiva, they have Leiva. The midfield and the forward line of Lazio, to me, it's second to nobody, to
Peter?
no one.
Why? Who do you have in fifth and why?
I have Atalanta.
And why?
Wow.
I just think if they lose Zapata, could be a big loss for them. And I think they've had a great run, but I think this year they're just gonna come short. I think Spalletti with Napoli will do better, and I just think that they're not as strong as years past.
Who do you have in fifth?
I got Inter in fifth. I think Inter is a mess. This morning they said that they have a debt of $700 million. I mean, this guy Zhang, I don't know what happened to this guy. They're selling. They might sell Lautaro if they give him $80-90 million. So Inter is a total mess. That's why I have him in fifth.
Okay. Fourth place. I have Napoli.
I have Atalanta.
I have Juventus.
I have Napoli.
I have Milan.
Okay, I'll give my reason for Napoli, and then we'll each give one reason. Napoli, I actually think that they're a pretty good team. I think that they're being a little bit underrated among some of the players, some of the people around. I think Osimhen is finally going to get a nice season underneath his belt. He obviously struggled with injuries, with COVID last year, and some off-the-field problems. They've upgraded in the coaching. Spalletti is a fantastic equalizer. He balances teams out. He's going to provide structure. I do hope and pray that they keep Lorenzo Insigne. I think that he's very important. Zielinski and Fabian Ruiz are two fantastic midfielders for the team. They're a solid team. They stay together. Yes, they didn't buy anybody, but they got one of the better coaches out there. And Spalletti is a man that gets you Champions League, and Spalletti will get Napoli the Champions League. What do you have in fourth and why?
I put Atalanta in fourth. Atalanta, I've been probably their biggest admirer from this podcast and probably in the culture world. I've been supporting them a lot just with their business and stuff. I was a little mad that they did sell Romero, but I guess justifiable. It was a lot of money. And they replaced him with Demiral, who I don't think will be injured. I think he's going to be playing at a similar level to Romero. I think he's going to have an incredible season. And if Zapata doesn't leave, we all know Zapata is a proven goal scorer. And Gasperini, I just feel like he knows what he has to do now to maintain that Champions League spot, which he's done multiple times. And there's still some time. I'm sure they'll get another backup or two for the bench.
Antonio, who do you have in fourth and why?
I have.
Juventus,
I told you,
right?
I have Juventus. I'll
And
tell you
why?
the reasons why. First of all, it's a year. The team is 1 year older. A lot of the players, they come from a very, very dredging, European Championship, and they played too many games. I don't trust Bonucci and Chiellini to be the center, the crew, the focal over the. Yeah, absolutely. Because
You also said the same thing with
1 year
the-
older.
I'm saying delete.
No, it's my time to talk. They're 1 year older. They're 1 year old. Oh, Dele. Who cares about Dele? Dele, he got a
He's
red
the
card
starter.
over there. Please.
So based on a red card.
You might as well with Allegri. Allegri is somebody that you already thrown on recycling bin, and then you just go fishing from the same bottle from the recycling bin, and you want to drink from something that has been already recycled. It's not gonna cut the slack with me. You might as well play the Sciglio or play even Rugani if you still have them around. You just can use those from the recycling bin again. You just can still use those two guys. They didn't buy anybody. What did they buy? They just were hoping that Locatelli is going to solve their problem. Pirlo was not the problem that Juventus had. The problem is that Agnelli doesn't want to spend the money, and I think they're stuck with Ronaldo over there. Ronaldo is a major problem that Juventus has, and they're depending on Ronaldo for their fortune or misfortune. Because if Ronaldo goes, Juventus might might just structure the game and the team around a team that it plays collectively. They don't play for Ronaldo. Everybody now plays for Ronaldo over there in Juventus. So the fact that now they're going to be fishing for Pjanic again, another recycle bottle that is going to be refished from the from the can of the recycling. So this is nothing but there is no news. Nothing is happening with Juventus. So Juventus is 1 year older. They're tired, and I think that I agree with Gaetano. They're going to be 4th or 5th place. What did you put them on? 5th?
One second.
Juventus.
I have
No, do
Inter.
not- do not-
Oh,
Fifth
Inter on
place.
5th. I put Juventus on 4th. Well,
Okay.
Wait,
Peter,
4th or 5th?
fourth place Napoli.
Juventus on 4th. I put
Fourth
Juventus
place
on 4th.
Napoli.
Anything besides what I said?
I think Osimhen, second year in Serie A, is going to score a lot of goals. I think Spalletti has proven that he can maximize the team and bring them into Champions League. He still has to prove that he can win the Scudetto, but he's done a fantastic job where he's coached. And you have some great players in the skeleton: Koulibaly, Fabian Ruiz, and Insigne. So I think they have a very good team.
Let's see.
Fourth place.
I have Milan in 4th place. They got rid of Donnarumma, the best goalkeeper. Pioli, I don't really think he's going to repeat. It's not that type of coach. They sold Chanagoglu, which he was doing a decent job. So I don't see Milan. I mean, I'm giving them Champions League. I don't see them more than that.
Okay. Third place. This is where my second and third. Okay. This is where my second and third place. I'm very interchangeable.
Go ahead.
My third place, I have Inter. And reason being is because they lost. I think their biggest loss was Antonio Conte this summer. He's the reason why they won the Scudetto last year, which I predicted very easily. It was very obvious that they were going to win the Scudetto last year because he's a serial winner. He had the team playing to an absolute T. He was the reason why they won the Scudetto. They had Hakimi, who was the best wing back in the world, that they lost. They lost Lukaku, who was one of the best strikers in the league and one of the best strikers in the world, which was a terrible loss. I think that Simone Inzaghi is a very good coach. Can I see them fighting for Scudetto? Absolutely, because they have a great defense. Their defense is the same: Bastoni, De Vrij, and Skriniar. And historically in Serie A, the best defense wins. So my 1 to 3, to be honest with you, I'll be honest, I do not feel the most confident, but I had to make a decision, and I put Inter in third place. We'll see how Inzaghi goes with it. I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's a coach that can win them the Scudetto. Third place?
Third place, I have Napoli. I think a huge praise for them for against Spalletti. I think that's the best case scenario for them, and I'm really happy to see them. I think Osimhen's going to have a breakout season. He can reach around 20 goals, I think, especially if he stays healthy. I think he has everything to be a top striker. It's just the question mark, his health.
Antonio, who do you have in third place?
I have Zaniolo in Roma. Zaniolo is the one that is going to break the...
Explain.
Zaniolo is the jolly for Roma because the kid is from Rome and he went through a very, very major injury.
He's not from Rome.
He's probably around Rome.
He's like from Sicily. Yeah, he's probably around, bro.
He looks like he's a Romano. He looks like he's Romano. So anyway, Zaniolo is somebody that is got a lot of motivation. He's been watching soccer from his hospital bed. He's starting to train again, and I'll be the one laughing at the end. So we'll see. So anyway. Aside from Mourinho, which I really don't think is a different maker, like you said, I have a few words about Conte. So Conte didn't make was not the one making the difference for Inter. It was Zhang that spent all the money, and now they are 700 million in debts. So that's why the Inter won the Campionato. They bought it. Conte had nothing to do with it. Look how many players they got. Okay, so when you have the power to buy, and now the situation is becoming like, look, Barcelona, what's happening with Barcelona, and Messi with the crocodile tears over there, crying that he's going to be making more money over there on PSG. I do not believe in that philosophy that you spend all that money and then you let them go because you can no longer afford it. The same mistake you guys are going to make you made it with Ronaldo. Right now,
all I asked
just
you
get
was
rid of that
explain why
guy.
you got Roma in third place.
Bottom line
Who do you have
is
in
Roma is going to be third.
Who do you have in third?
I have Milan in third place.
All right.
I think they make Champions League. I think they have the run of last year. They have Zlatan Ibrahimovic. If he stays healthy, he's a proven leader. So I think with Theo Hernandez, Ibrahimovic, I have
Giroud.
I want to see Giroud. Giroud is a good guy off the bench. I don't know if he's your ultimate starter, he's a savior. Tonali. I want to see Tonali.
I want to see Diaz too.
What
Diaz
he's gonna
step
do.
up.
I have to see what Tonali does. Because you talk about spending money. You guys spend over 20 million for a player that
No, actually, we
Hasn't
got
done
it for
anything.
less now. We renegotiated the
about-
contract.
Who do you have in third place? And why?
I got Roma in third place.
See, me too.
Wow,
See?
wow.
You
uh,
guys.
Mourinho, Zaniolo, Abraham. That's the reason why
Mm-hmm.
I got Roma in third place.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Mm.
Short and sweet.
Second place, as I said, these were interchangeable for me.
No. If you keep them, you don't interchange them. You give it the third place, and that's what you leave it.
I'll
Don't
explain.
start to say, that interchange. Give me the third place,
I got you.
the second place, whatever.
Anto, how many crossing outs do you have on your paper? Over?
None. Zero here.
Okay. It's fine. Second place, I have Atalanta. I think Ladea is a fantastic team. I think they are building towards this peak with Gasperini. They lost Golini. They got Musso, who's a fantastic keeper. They lost Romero, who I was very, very sad to see go. They got 55 million. They replaced him with Demiral, who, if Demiral stays healthy, and this is a big if he stays healthy, I think that he's the replacement. He's almost a straight swap. They're just as good as each other. Very similar. The only big question mark for me has been if Zapata stays and if Zapata goes. I'm assuming that Zapata is going to stay. And for me, they can make this run for second place. And I would not be surprised if we see Atalanta do some sort of fairy tale push and try to go for a Scudetto.
Okay, that's
Second
fair.
place, Michael.
Second place, I have Inter. Yes, they did lose their coach. Yes, they did lose their striker. Yes, they did lose their wingback. But let's not forget, they still got the best defense in Serie A. They still got the best midfield in Serie A. They have Dzeko. They have Shomorodov. They're probably gonna get someone else. So they.
Shomorodov.
No.
Oh, my bad. Why did I say that?
Lautaro.
They have Lautaro. They have.
You think they have Lautaro?
Mike
Yeah, I know, I
looked in the
said
mirror,
that.
so he said Shomorodov.
So I was thinking of it. Maybe not as good as Lukaku, but I feel like those strikers could still deliver. Dumfries, he's been solid. I saw him at the.
Dumfries. It's not Dumfries. Dumfries.
I think it's Dumfries.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dumfries?
Yeah, it's Dumfries.
Okay, Dumfries. Is it?
Apologize.
On the TV, they call him Dumfries.
Well, do you listen to everything that the TV
Yeah,
tells you?
I do.
That says a lot.
Regardless, I think Dumfries obviously isn't Hakimi's level, but he's very good, and I think he could. At Euros, I was impressed with him, and I heard great things with him. I think he'll do
You
well
heard?
over there.
Did you see
Yeah.
him playing?
I did at the Euros.
Alright.
Yeah, but I haven't been watching the Dutch league. but-
Antonio, who do you have in second place?
Second place, I have Atalanta.
Okay, like me.
Yeah.
Why?
Any reason besides what I said?
Well, listen, I trust Gasparini's style. Gasparini is someone that can pick up somebody from any place and then just can teach him how to play soccer and say, this is what I need you to do. Okay? He can make a nobody somebody. Okay? We have seen it year after year after year after year. A lot of the players that are playing with Atalanta right now, that they already leaving the team because they've been sought by the biggest franchise in Europe is because of Gasparini. Saw the potential that they had, and they really got the most out of them into the position that he plugged them into the team. That's why I'm not afraid that Atalanta is not going to repeat, and I think he's got. If I could have been the interchanging, well, Atalanta could be the only one that would be overtaking AC Milan.
There's no interchanging. What happened
Okay,
to
no
that?
interchanging anymore.
Second place, Peter.
I say Inter. Like Mike said, let's not forget Simone Inzaghi before COVID had Lazio pushing for the Scudetto.
True.
That's
Okay,
a stupid reason. Before COVID and after COVID. Just look what you have right now.
I'm just saying.
Before COVID.
just
what the hell is
saying.
this BS?
What I'm trying to say is Inzaghi is a qualified coach. Don't forget, before Juventus made the decision to sign Pirlo and even to sign Sarri, if I was not mistaken, they were looking for Inzaghi
They were
to
also
be the
looking at
replacement.
Mihailovic.
Okay, but he was up there to replace Sarri, and I think Dumfries is is the prototypical right back nowadays. Big, strong, fast.
Yeah.
He puts decent crosses. Does a lot of running. It's something that you need in a 3-5-2 formation. Dzeko, let's not forget, Dzeko was the guy that Conte wanted. When he first got there. Obviously, 2 years older, 35 years old. How long can he last? But we said it on this podcast. There's no one better as far as holding up the ball, turning with the ball. Lautaro with Dzeko, who's a lot more technical than Lukaku.
Wow.
You lose on the pace and
He's
the
trying to-
speed
he's trying
and the
to sell
power.
himself over here.
But
The
Dzeko,
excitement
John-
that you're building
compare
against
Dzeko.
those
Don't compare
losers.
Dzeko
Oh
with-
my
oh,
God.
don't compare them.
Dzeko
Dzeko scores goals,
Yeah.
and players can play off him. Also, I'm looking for a big season from Sensi.
Mhm.
he's got to stay healthy. But you have Sensi and Barella, who's for me one of the best midfielders, plus the defense that we have. This team is not too bad. I think there's a lot of controversy, and we still have to see with these 14 days. But if you look on paper, this team can still compete.
Compete for what? For Serie B? This team can disappear in the next couple of weeks because if you guys don't pay the debts that you have, you can be in big trouble. You're talking about $700
His
million.
accountant right here.
$700 million you accumulated in debts. How the hell do you do that? Number
Second
one.
place, who do you have?
I got Lazio second place.
Maestro.
I like that. I like that.
If you get this
That's
right, we all
good.
have to do something.
I'll
I
shake
like
my
that.
head.
I put Lazio
I'll
on
shake my
fifth.
head,
I put
man.
Lazio on fifth.
That's not fair, Pete.
I like that. Hey, why are you laughing? I wouldn't laugh if I were you.
That's
Where'd you
that's
put them
fantastic.
in?
I'm sorry.
I put
So
them in fifth.
I got.
Okay, put them in the
I
Champions
think
League.
that Lazio is got. He's got a decent coach. He's got
More than decent for second.
He's got the best midfield in Italy.
Milinkovic.
Okay, yeah. Leiva is very good. Milankovic
Unexpected.
is very good.
Luis Alberto.
Luis Alberto. So they have the best midfield. If I think Immobile for the national team is not good, but at the international level, but for the Serie A, I think he's a
He's a good player.
top scorer. So he's going to repeat. He's going to score goals because those three midfielders are going to give him the ball, and they all play for him. So I think they can do very well, and I'll put him in second place.
I respect the courage. I respect the courage
Yeah.
to go there.
If that happens,
What courage?
It takes courage. I'm gonna
What
say
courage?
the same thing to you in a few minutes.
Okay.
First place, Scudetto winners. I have Juventus. I think that
Jesus,
they
how
will.
pathetic.
I think that they will win the Scudetto. They brought Max Allegri back to the team. The guy is also a winner. He will balance the team out. He's always gonna put out a good team. If you see Juventus last year, the big reason why they were so low in the table, they were fourth place in the table, because they lost so many points. I think they lost 4 points out of 6 to Benevento, who got relegated. That will never happen under Max Allegri. And I think that also the front three that they've gotten with if Ronaldo stays, between Dybala, who played great as a falsa nueva against Atalanta the other day, Ronaldo on the left, and Chiesa on the right, who's coming off of being a European champion. That front three is deadly. It is dynamic, and it's going to score a lot of goals if those three play together. Dybala is coming off a very tough season last year. I think that this is Dybala's year. Double digits in assists and goals, I'm predicting for Dybala. The midfield, most likely going to add Locatelli to the midfield, who is not a top player. He's not a Pogba, but I think he's better than what we have. And I think that also the players around, the midfielders around him need to step up. Rabiot has looked a little bit better. Hopefully Bentancur under Allegri could do better than what he did under Andrea Pirlo. I think McKennie as well. When Artur is healthy, it's not the best midfield in the league, but I think it's going to be better than last year. The defense goes without saying. You got either Danilo or Cuadrado as a right back is fantastic. The two champions of Europe, anything you get from Chiellini will be a plus this year. But with De Ligt, who's one of the best defenders in the world, and then Alexandro, who's back. I think that this team, characterized by Allegri, will win the Scudetto.
Forgot Quadrado too.
Did I mention? I thought
No,
I
you
mentioned
didn't say
him.
anything about Quadrado. But anyway.
Michael, who do you have winning the Scudetto?
I put Juve first. I think Max is gonna come to this team. He's gonna bring tranquility. That was much needed after a chaotic season.
Tranquility.
I do think they're gonna win if Ronaldo stays, though. Because if Ronaldo goes, that's a guaranteed 20-25 goals. And although I like Dybala and I think Dybala's going to do good under Allegri, him and Chiesa, Kulusevski, I don't think they have what it takes to be that leader that Juve need without Ronaldo. So I'm going to leave that big if over there. And I just feel like Allegri's going to come in. He knows what to do. He knows the environment. He knows the atmosphere. And he's just going to pick up work immediately. We're going to see him at work.
And he's going to
First
run on the
place?
field too. I have AC Milan.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because he's the team. He's the team that.
That you love.
Well, he's the team that everybody has to look for to beat because we're still young. We had some additional.
Giroud and
No, no, Zlatan.
You shouldn't be
going on
talking with Zeko
40
over there,
years old.
37 years old. So we're
35.
still very young.
I'm just asking for your reason
We
why
made
you
a
chose Milan.
couple very young acquisition too. The defense is one of the best defense, even though we got Magnan. He has 25 or 26 scoreless sheets for since they won. It was the winning of the French league. So this guy here, we didn't lose Donnarumma for nothing. So we got a good replacement.
You actually did lose him for nothing. Financially, you lost him for nothing.
Okay, Mike.
No,
I
I'm
thought
just
you were an AC
saying.
Milan fan.
I am. I'm just telling
fucking
you.
backstabber.
I'm just
Anything
telling
else?
you.
Any
Anyway,
other reasons
we
why?
are the team to beat. We can afford to have Romagnoli even on playing on the bench. Okay, not a defender. So, but since we have a lot of competition, we are stacking up even the bench with some
Nice.
decent
You're not
middle
scared
of the
with
range
Hakan?
player. No, we're not scared with Hakan.
The Hakan left?
We're getting
No?
another couple players right now. We're under the process. I'm not high on Florenzi because I never liked him, even when he was playing on the highest level in Roma. It's not my
Bench
kind of a.
bench player.
Yeah, it can
You
be.
have
It can be
Calabria.
playing the Coppa Italia and a couple other competition like
It's a
that.
solid bench player. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And
Peter?
Pioli, I
Peter?
just want to say, in Pioli, you're still
Pioli,
good.
I'm
You think
good.
he's a
Yeah,
good
I mean,
goal?
it's not my favorite, but I'll take Gasperini over
Okay.
him. But
That's
it's
big.
okay.
That's big.
Peter?
Say Juventus. I think you have question mark. Obviously, Ronaldo, Dybala, Chiesa. These are all top players. I think Dybala is gonna have a big season, and I think Max Allegri is the main reason why Juventus can win the Scudetto. He's a proven winner. He doesn't have the greatest of perform. His team doesn't have the greatest of performances, but they win. That's the biggest thing, right? In the end, that's the only thing that counts. And if they win 1-0, Allegri's happy. He's gonna bring balance to the team.
So they're going to disgrace the game. They're going to disgrace the game.
Ronaldo's gonna be happy, but Allegri will be able to get Juventus to a Scudetto win.
Dad, who do you have winning?
Yeah, I got Juventus also in first place. I think that Locatelli showed in the Euro that he can make the change from Serie A to the next step, the international level. He did very well. I was happy with him. So the addition of Locatelli plus Allegri knows how to put the team on the field, a balanced team on the field, and he knows also at halftime what to do and what to say if the team is not doing well. So I'll go with Juventus.
True. So 4 out of 5 of us say Juventus will win. I cut both of you guys off with your Napoli predictions because then we changed how we're going to do. You both had Napoli, if I remember, in 8th place.
Napoli.
Seventh.
Napoli have a 7.
Okay.
Seventh place.
You have your reason why Napoli's in 7th place?
Well, I still don't know about Insigne. That's why I said, this is not. I think we should do another one once the mercato is closed
We'll
and
allow changes.
and we know where everybody's going. But Insigne is a big part of Napoli, and he's the captain and he's the leader. He's the number 10. So there's a lot of things going for Napoli. Spalletti, he usually tries to get the team into the Champions League, but this is his first year. I don't think he's going to do it this year. Wow. Maybe next year.
I'll tell you what happened. Napoli's number 1 is not Rome. Napoli it's a market that demands results. Number 1. Number 2, Spalletti is not the kind of a person that he can take the pressure from the ownership. The first disagreement that he's going to have with the De Laurentiis is Spalletti is going to pack up and try to do what he's been doing the last 20 years, just collecting the money for free. Okay, with all of the proven things that this guy has been saying, Spalletti. What the hell is he doing? So this guy here, I will make sure that he will pay me in order to make him coach my team. Nevertheless, I have to pay him that kind of money. How much is he getting, by the way? None of my business.
Not much.
Okay, not much. Okay, thank God, because it's not worth that much to begin with. So I don't think, like Gaetano said, if Insigne is still the question mark whether he's going to resign with Napoli, whether he's going to stay, is not going to stay. Osimhen is not the one that is going to cut the slack, Mike. As much as you want to believe
wrong.
that, it's not.
I think
It's
you're
not.
wrong.
It's not. I was wrong on him. I mean, I thought that the first couple of games that I saw him, he had some good qualities, but then. I don't see him. I don't see him like the DNA of Napoli, and I don't think he's someone that is a different maker. He's going to score maybe 10, 15 goals, which, after you get paid $80 million to transfer to Napoli, is the least that you can do, but it's not a winning.
Guys, first podcast in the books before the season starts. I will say that I think it's a tight race. I think that 1 through 7 mark is extremely difficult. By the way, for anyone in the comment section that's cursing some of us out, they're mad. Like, this team's not going to finish there. Comment your 1 through 20,
And
then
why.
we'll look back.
Yeah, and
we'll
say
look
why.
back next year.
Give us your
Here's mine.
explanation.
Save it here.
I'm accepting
Yeah, I'll
that
save
I
it.
can be wrong in a lot of these. I'm expecting to be wrong in many of them, but it is the way it is. It's going to be an exciting year. despite the players that we have lost, I do think it's an opportunity for some of the youngsters to come through and to bring excitement to the league. I think that we have one of the most exciting leagues in the world. We need to show it. And the only thing I'll say is please just close the transfer market now. Let's not lose Vlahovic. Let's not lose. I don't want Zapata leaving. I don't want Ronaldo leaving. I don't want anyone going anywhere.
And maybe Lukaku comes back too before it
Yeah,
closes.
come
I would
back,
I would
okay.
gladly take that. Anything else we got to talk about? Any thoughts, by the way, on the Messi move or no? You want to end?
Nobody cares about Messi. It's somebody that he disgraced himself for just leaving Barcelona and going to another big team. Just go to a middle of the range team and
Milan.
show.
He should have went to Milan.
We don't need him.
Oh.
We don't need him. Maybe we should have gone to you because you guys got money.
We
Instead
have
of
money.
$700 million, put another couple $100 million. You can put $900 million in debt. Okay?
Okay, there we go,
yeah.
guys.
Hey, take a
everybody,
picture of mine
thank
too,
you-
Paisa.
thank you-
Take a
thank you
picture.
for- you're gonna have to sign it, guys. Everyone, thank you for watching.
Take a picture,
Make sure
yeah.
you subscribe and like this video. We're gonna have lots of coverage coming for this Serie A
yeah.
season. As always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys.
Ragazzi.
All right.
Calcio. All right, there we
Have
go.
a nice week.